Hey, Engineering Future 3 students. Welcome to the first day of online, or the home version. On Schoology, what you're going to find is each week will be laid out. And then in each week's folder are the at-home activities that you will do, the Wednesday activities, which is at what we call the flex day, and the activities that we'll do in class that'll sometimes coordinate with what's going on at home, and sometimes it'll be totally different because we're not sure how this is going to actually lay out. So the at-home stuff may or may not coordinate directly with the in-class stuff, and we'll kind of talk about that and hopefully keep you abreast of all that stuff. But on day one, what we're going to do is talk about the importance of questioning. And when you look at solving problems, the ability to ask questions is a very important skill set, and a lot of times we just don't get a chance to practice that. So I think the best example is when you look at the game 20 questions. Asking good, smart questions drills into the solution much faster than asking random questions. And I think you know that when you go and play that game, where if you start off by asking, is it a cougar? Is it a rock? Those are just random guesses and not very good questions. But if you ask, is it a plant or an animal? Or is it alive or not alive? Those narrow the search pool pretty quickly. And so within 20 questions, you're supposed to be able to solve the problem. The importance of that is that you need to be aware, whether you're trying to solve a problem or when you're going for a job, the ability to think forward and ask good questions makes you a valuable employee, and actually is going to make a great business owner if that's where you head one day. You know, if you go to an interview and they ask you a bunch of questions, and at the end of that, they ask if you have any questions, and you say, no, I don't have any questions. What message is that sending? Now, if you said, yeah, I have a question, how long does it take to get promoted? So they're already thinking that you've asked a question that leads them to believe that you are going to work hard and do good things and want to be promoted. Now, if you ask the first question is like, when do I get my first day off? Then obviously that's probably not the best question. So a lot of the importance of questioning is just thinking forward and being prepared when the time comes. And there's a whole strategy. The military has a strategy for questioning. Major businesses have strategies on questioning and drilling into the problem and making sure they're asking the right questions and being specific enough. So today what we're going to do is start the first kind of unit, and I am representing a company who wants us to make something. And as far as what they want us to make, that's what you have to figure out. So you're going to be, you as an individual are going to be an engineering company that makes stuff. And in this case, it's automation. They want us to make something in automation. Your job is to figure out what is it they want us to make, and specifically what they want us to make. So the way you're going to do that is online. There's a link into the folder that has our both in-class and at-home activities, and you're allowed to ask as many questions as you want to drill in to solve the problem of what they want you to make, to design and make actually, okay, and how you're going to do that. So on Google, I made a form where you can type in your questions one at a time. You have to put your name in there, and then I will respond to them. So if you ask 2 questions, you're probably not going to get very far. So you have literally this time, okay, on the first day as we ease into this, to ask questions to try and solve the problem of what project in automation does this company want, basically you and your company, to make. So give it some thought, ask a bunch of questions, and actually you might want to write this down. A lot of times people put a decision tree down on paper to ask a bunch of questions, and if it's a yes and a no, then they ask these questions, and if it's a yes, they ask these questions, and it allows you to go ahead and drill through that pretty quickly. You need to ask 1 question at a time on that form, and you can ask as many as you want. And again, I would encourage you to ask a bunch of those so that by Tuesday, we'll be moving forward and you'll be able to hopefully ask a few more questions based upon my responses and figure out what it is you're about to do. And then as soon as you understand what it is you're about to do, then we're going to get started with the first project. So if you have questions or any concerns, you can sure email me. I'll try to answer those sometime after I'm done teaching, I suppose, in the evening maybe. But enjoy your first date. It shouldn't, if you put 15, 20 minutes, half hour into this, you should have some pretty good questions and be able to figure out a lot and move along pretty quickly. If you spend 5 or 10 minutes at it, I don't think you're going to do very well. So those are just some guidelines I think that should help you get a good start in the first part of the activity. All right, thanks.